All right, so believe it or not, but there are over 15 different kinds of revenue streams that you can tap into as a content creator if you want to monetize your content, your audience, or even your knowledge. So in this video, I'm going to rank them all based on my own experience of working together with content creators from all over the world over the past 5 years. And I can tell you which ones are worth the effort and which ones are just glorified hobbies. Now, do keep in mind one important thing. Any revenue stream can actually work, right? Anything can work. But there are certain revenue streams that are just on a whole different level when it comes to how sustainable and scalable they are. So these are my main criteria. And if there's anything that you disagree with, then write it in the comments below so we can have a fruitful discussion. And enough yapping, let me dive into the very first revenue stream right now. So revenue stream number one is donations and tips. This is where you just literally ask your audience for perhaps a monthly pledge or a certain amount that they're going to give you. It can be a one-off donation or a monthly donation, like I said. This is not reliable and you should never ever rely on this single income stream. It's a nice to have if you are perhaps a streamer, if you're doing gaming content, but I wouldn't rely on this revenue stream, and thus I'm going to rank it under C tier as unreliable. And here comes the next revenue stream, and this is, a very controversial one. There are obviously a lot of opinions about brand deals and sponsorships. So the thing is that on paper, brand deals and sponsorships just sounds amazing, right? You don't have any overhead, you don't need to hire anyone, and technically you're just getting paid doing what you're already doing. You don't need to do anything extra. You're already creating content as a content creator. However, you are obviously not building anything on your own. You're promoting somebody else's product. And then more importantly, here in this case, you're relying on social media algorithms, right? So you're not under full control. This is not your business. And I would put brand deals and sponsorships under B tier. It's decent, right? You can make money, but you should not rely on this revenue stream solely. And I think that pretty much counts for every single revenue stream here. You should never ever rely on one single revenue stream. So let's move on to ad revenue. This is specifically tied to short form platforms. So getting paid out by all of these different creator reward programs, these different creator funds that you can see in Instagram or TikTok. I would rank this under C tier, unreliable. You should never ever try to make money just from ad revenue alone. And it's not scalable, it's not sustainable at all. And next up, we have physical products. So this is where you actually build a creator brand. Now, obviously, brands such as Feastables are a huge outlier, right? Not every single, or in fact, 99% of creator brands don't make it past 1 year. Also, it takes a lot of time to actually see an ROI if you're selling physical products, aka building a creator brand. However, there are certain situations where it just makes a lot of sense, such as Linus Tech Tips. He's a wonderful example. He put out a screwdriver, which did really well. And obviously, if you don't know him, he makes videos where he builds computers, builds PCs. So this just makes a lot of sense. I would put physical products under C tier, unreliable. And of course, you're also dealing with physical inventory, which is always a huge pain in the ass. Next up is selling services. Now, I know what you're thinking. As a content creator, the reason why I'm creating content is because I don't want to be a freelancer, right? But believe it or not, not every single content creator out there is going to become successful. And more importantly, you can actually make decent money providing services, because as a content creator, you have an unfair advantage. You have a skill that a lot of brands, a lot of businesses, a lot of also people that perhaps want to venture into content creation, you have those skills, you possess those skills, and they need people like you to help them, right? Perhaps it's UGC, perhaps it's social media management or content creation itself. Honestly, I would say this is not the worst creator revenue stream, and I would even put it under B tier. This is decent. I would put it in the same category as brand deals and sponsorships, especially perhaps if you're starting out as a content creator, you need some more side income. Providing services is great because you already have the social proof. You already perhaps even have an Instagram account with 5,000 followers, let's say, which is good. Like, you're better than 99% of the people out there. So let's move on to revenue stream number 6, which is building a software, building a SaaS, software as a service, building apps or even Chrome extensions. This is one of my favorite revenue streams simply because you can have an exit here. You can build something and have an exit and have a 10x, 20x, 100x return on investment. Denko is a great example. He's building, at this very moment, he's building Eden.so. This is especially a wonderful revenue stream for content creators that have already sold info, right? So if you've sold info products in the past and you were quite successful doing it, the next step is building something even more scalable and sustainable. And thus, I'm going to put software and SaaS or apps in general under S tier. It's scalable and sustainable. It does require you to put in a lot of work, right? Being a software founder is not the same as building a creator business where you just sell courses, which is actually our next revenue stream. All right, so if you asked me 5 years ago, I would put online courses under S tier. However, I do think they're not as effective anymore, simply because AI has replaced a lot of information out there, right? So you can technically go out there and ask ChatGPT to build you an online course and then essentially learn from that information. So online courses are not as effective anymore. They do require a lot of work up front, right? I'm personally not a big fan of using AI to build online courses. Thus, I would put this under B tier. It's decent, but like I said, ask me 5 years ago, I will put under S tier. 2 or 3 years ago, I'll put them under A tier, and now I would put them under B tier. I think online courses are still decent thing to do. So next up, we have reselling courses, aka doing the whole MRR, PLR, faceless reels type of thing. This is a pyramid scheme. This is a complete scam. I would stay away from this. You're not building your own brand. You are just reselling junk. You're contributing to the enshittification of the creator economy. You should just stay away from this huge pyramid scheme, scam, MLM. I'm just throwing out all the negative keywords here. But honestly, like, this is one of the worst things that have happened to the creator economy. You essentially resell courses to other people. It's a whole pyramid scheme. But honestly, if you're a content creator and you have any morals left, you should completely stay away from this right here. Next up, we have high-ticket coaching and mentorships. Now, I might be biased because I'm the one working with content creators and setting these up and making and helping them make money from these high-ticket coaching programs, cohorts, and mentorships in general. I put them all into one single basket, but these are incredibly effective, especially if you don't have a lot of followers, because you can make a lot of money in a very short amount of time. It's also quite straightforward to launch in the sense that you can run a focus group, you conduct market research, and then you can launch in a very lean manner, right? Building a Skool community doesn't take a lot of time. You would probably spend most of your time, gathering data to build something that people actually want and people actually need. But in this case, people are willing to pay a lot of money to go through a certain transformation. And if you're a content creator and you have certain skills, you have knowledge, you have experience, you have a lot of social proof, you should definitely go for it. I would put this under S tier, high-ticket coaching mentorships, scalable and sustainable, that's for sure. What about low-ticket digital products? This is our next creator revenue stream. This is quite straightforward. You sell digital products like different kinds of ebooks or maybe like templates or guides. Depending on your niche, you can make a lot of money on it. Like, for instance, let's say you are a content creator, you create content for parents of diabetic children, right? That's quite niche. And if you create a guide on how to deal with your kid getting diagnosed with diabetes, you can make a decent amount of money because this is quite niche and you have decent trust with your audience. So I would put low ticket digital products under B tier. They are decent, but you should never ever rely on them alone. I know that a lot of content creators, what they do is that they start out with digital products. I would actually make it the other way around. I would first start off with high ticket coaching or mentorships, right? Gather enough data from this right here, and then add low ticket digital products to your offer suite, right? So ideally, you have a whole ecosystem of low ticket digital products online courses and high-ticket coaching mentorships in one place. And then later on, once you've gathered even more data, you know how you can solve a certain problem at a scale, you can move into software or into SaaS in general. So yeah, that was revenue stream number, I don't know, 9 or 10. Next up, we have affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is quite straightforward. It's quite passive as well. And I'm personally not the biggest fan of affiliate marketing because once again, you're not spending a lot of time and effort into building your own business or building your own brand. You're instead promoting somebody else's product. You're instead promoting somebody else's brand. Of course, you're getting commission. And like I said, it's quite passive. But I wouldn't rely on affiliate marketing because also you're still relying on social media algorithms. For example, if you get shadow banned on Instagram and affiliate marketing, let's say, was your main income stream, you essentially lost that income stream, right? Because people are not looking at your page anymore. You're not getting discovered anymore by people. So nobody's clicking your link in bio, for example. So I'm putting affiliate marketing under C tier. It's quite unreliable. I just noticed that there's no A tier right here, but we're about to change it probably. Actually, yeah, I think I would put paid communities under A tier. This is our next revenue stream. Paid community is quite straightforward. You build a circle or a Skool community. You get as many people in as possible. You get monthly recurring revenue. Now, there are certain negative aspects here. You need to be careful with churn, right? A lot of communities, what they do is they launch the community, and after 1 month, everybody just leaves, right? And you're left with just 5% of the amount of people that initially came in. But if you do it well, if you do it really, really well, you can make a shit ton of money. I would put paid communities under A tier. You should definitely go for it. I would even say it's between A and S tier. So if you're looking to build a paid community, you should really try to make sure that people go through a transformation, and more importantly, not only rely on having just a paid community, right? Also add modules, templates, and make sure that people can get their first win as soon as possible. I'm probably going to make a video on how to build an effective paid community in the future because I've built quite a few of these in the past. Next up is running a one-on-one or doing one-on-one coaching or consulting. So this is not scalable, not sustainable at all, because most cases you are charging people for your time, right? So you're trading your time for money. It's not reliable. It's not sustainable. It's not scalable at all. You're essentially chasing clients all the time. And I would say that this is perhaps decent if you're starting out, maybe you've changed careers and you want to teach something completely new, and you perhaps can do like, $50 per an hour sessions with your audience members. I would put this then under B tier. It's decent, but in general, doing one-on-one coaching and consulting is C tier, unreliable. Next up, we have exclusive gated content, aka doing OnlyFans, Patreon passes, whatever. This was amazing back in 2019, back in 2020, 2021. This was great. I would have put this probably under A tier or S tier, but nowadays I do think it's quite unreliable unless you're in the adult industry. But even then, if you are creating adult content, not every OnlyFans creator makes a lot of money. In fact, most of them are broke. So don't rely on just putting exclusive gated content out there for your audience. This is the next creator revenue stream. Running a paid newsletter, aka newsletter monetization. I'm putting this straight up into A tier, simply because if you do have a newsletter already, you are ahead of 99% of other creators, and the RPMs and CPMs are crazy high. So how does this work? Very simple. You're running a newsletter, you're sending out, let's say, a weekly newsletter, you partner up with a brand, you can use a platform like Pave, for instance. You partner up with a brand, and that brand pays you money to mention them in your newsletter. So it's a paid sponsorship. It's like a brand deal. It's like what I've discussed before, but it's not happening on a social media platform, which means that you have full control over, right? Email is more reliable than Instagram or TikTok, where a billionaire's mood swing can decide your fate. If you have, let's say, 1,000 subscribers in your email list, I do think you should look into this revenue stream ASAP. This is so underrated. You should definitely go for it. Next up, we have ad revenue, and this specifically regarding YouTube long form content, not YouTube Shorts, right? YouTube Shorts, I would put into the short form category, of course. So this is making money from YouTube AdSense. I would put this under B tier. It's decent compared to ad revenue from short form platforms, which is quite unreliable. You can make a decent living from YouTube. Of course, we had, certain situations happen in the past where YouTube creators have lost a lot of money from these algorithm changes. But in general, making money from YouTube is decent, right? As long as you can pull in the necessary watch hours and views. Next up, and this is, I think, second to last revenue stream that is a little bit more advanced, consulting and or actually having an advisory role. What does this mean? This is perhaps you as a content creator working together with a startup and advising them on how to run their startup, how to do their marketing, how to do their content creation. More importantly, how to market their product towards content creators. So let's say you work together with a startup that operates in the creator economy. This is a little bit more advanced, and not every content creator can do this. But if you're more entrepreneurial, more of a business content creator, I think this is a wonderful role, and you should definitely try to go for it. I would put it under not B tier, but I would put it under A tier. All right, so the final revenue stream, I'm getting a little bit tired of yapping so much, is hosting real life events or masterminds. This is where you can earn a lot of money, upwards of $30,000 plus per event that you host, depending on the niche that you're in. I made a whole video about my biggest predictions for the year 2026 when it comes to the creator economy. I do think real life events are going to be a huge, big thing in 2026. And if you're a content creator and you're considered running a real life event or mastermind, you should definitely go for it. So I would put this under A tier. Now, it's not scalable and sustainable in terms of like, you do need overhead, you do need to hire people, you do need to organize it, right? You need to invest time, effort, and money into this. But I think the ROI is crazy high, not only in terms of the money that you can make, but also the community building aspect, right? Everybody is sick of AI, and more people want real life events. So this is it. This is a tier list that I've made for all the different kinds of creator revenue streams. If you disagree with me, of course, leave a comment in the comment section below. Now, if you want to watch my other videos where I break down how bunch of creators make so much money from these revenue streams, then you can watch my playlist, for example, by clicking somewhere up there. And I also made a whole video breaking down the entire creator economy, which you can watch as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.